And we back. Welcome back to another episode of the Get Buggers podcast, powered by Hardwinning Basketball. I'm your host, Musa Marathi. I've been meaning to make this video for a little while now, and I thought it might spark up a little controversy, but it's time we do it. This is being recorded on January 1st, so Happy New Year. But Greenville High School, best 4A school in Greenville County. You got, I know you have East Side, you have Wade Hampton. I don't think these teams are at Greenville's level. I've watched Greenville play 3 times now, and like I've said, they're about 11-1 or 10-1 this season. Just dominating. They did lose in one of the games I watched, but I don't really think, I've watched Eastside 2 times. I've watched Wade Hampton. Um, Riverside, I don't believe, I could be mistaken. I don't believe they're in the debate for the best 4A schools in Greenville County at the moment. Maybe if Julian comes back in time, maybe. But right now, I think Greenville. This might be a hot take. I think Greenville is head and shoulders above the other 4As, and the other 4As better be lucky they're not in their region. Like I've said in one of the videos, Greenville. I think it's gonna be Greenville and Westside competing in their region, but honestly, if Westside comes out flat, I think Greenville can kill Westside. That just might be me, but Westside does have a lot of size. Westside does have a lot of size, so don't get it twisted. Like they are a solid. They're a solid team, and they are 12-1. So they also have only one loss. Going through their region again, you have Westside, Berea, Easley, Greenwood, and Pickens. Easley, I don't think they have enough talent to beat Greenville. Westside, they're a big team and they're on a 3-game win streak, so that's the game. Berea's too small. I don't think they have a lot of skill, but I don't think they're physical and just athletic enough to compete with them and big enough. Greenwood, not very good, and Pickens just not very good. Don't really know too much about either team, but I just don't. Those two I don't really feel like are in the conversation. But yeah, after just watching them, their defense, they're ferocious. I think they're one of the deepest teams, as in like bench play in Greenville area. They got transfers like Roman Cooley from BHP. Who else? Ramon's playing this year after being injured. So no, they Elijah Jones transferred. Let me not forget that. Let me definitely not forget that. Isaiah, man. I'm sorry I kept him off of that seniors list, man, because he was balling in the games I watched. He was balling for sure. Fast lefty. He could shoot better than I even realized. He can shoot and he's efficient. He's probably the most efficient player on the team. Him or Elijah, I'd have to say. Bryson can shoot, knockdown shooter. Romani gets boards and makes very good looks. And they all play a role. That's the big thing. They all play a role and they all know what their role. Cam comes off the bench and just focusing on pure defense, locks in, locks up, gets key steals near the end of games. Now, one thing I did have to mention though is, can Greenville, once it gets to playoff time, compete with teams like Lancaster? Now, Lancaster. Now, I'm not saying this is like a huge deal because Greenville did only lose by 4 to Gray Collegiate. Lancaster did beat Gray, only by 3 though. So, can they compete with Lancaster though when the time comes? Right now, Lancaster is checking their record right now. Lancaster is 12-1. Okay, so they must have just lost as well. Yes, they did just lose their last game. Wow. Whoa, they lost by 26. Nonetheless, that's gonna be an intense game. I believe they might be in upper state, but if they are in upper state, I just feel like I'm not saying Greenville will make it all the way if like where they might meet up in the playoffs, but are they able to compete in the playoffs against 4A such as them? And what after watching them, what I believe to be the best 4A team in South Carolina, North Augusta. And the reason I have North Augusta as my number one 4A team, purely because they are 14-0 right now. They did beat Hillcrest, even though Hillcrest is a very strong team. They were like 11-4 right now on the season, 11-5 maybe. They did beat Hillcrest by 30 after being down or up after only being up 1.5. So they do have some weak points as well. I mean, Hillcrest was right there with them, and I think overall, I feel like Greenville's probably better than Hillcrest. Probably just has more chemistry and smartness overall. Greenville, going back to how deep the bench is, they all have guys that play AAU year round, and a lot of them play together. And they're young. They're all basically all sophomores, besides Elijah and Isaiah. And you have freshmen such as Arquise White and Cam Smith. So I mean, I just wanted to come on and just talk. Man, Greenville, I feel like they are the best for it because although you have teams like Eastside and Wade Hampton, I think Eastside, although they have solid players like Justin, DJ, and Matt, I don't think they compete with the physicality that Greenville possesses. Their defense is ferocious, and I just don't know. Is that saying that Greenville has more dog? Maybe, I guess you could say Greenville has more dogs than Eastside, and honestly, probably a little bit more skill overall. Like I said, they have guys that all play AAU. And then Wade Hampton has some dogs. Wade Hampton definitely has some dogs. But once again, I don't know if they're as deep. When I watch them, they sub like 2 guys in. Greenville has the ability to sub 3 to 4 guys in at a time. And it goes all the way till the end of the bench. I had Houston on here for an interview, and Houston can shoot the lights out the ball. So that's all guys. Bryce Woodhouse takes charges and just brings a bunch of energy and could shoot corner threes. And then who else? Zacchaeus, he finishes at the rim and is a lefty, I believe. They all bring something to the table, no matter where you are on the bench. I feel like the other schools are still, like, if you're at the end of the bench, you really don't. I'm not saying you don't bring anything to the table, but coach doesn't really trust you. And obviously, the coach at Greenville probably doesn't trust his bottom guys as much. But I feel like they would have a large role at any other school they went to, basically, or at least a bigger role. Greenville just possesses that much talent, and I had to come on here and just say Greenville's having a great season, and if they let that last loss distraught them, that's by any means, and I don't know what's wrong with them, because that was an intense game, and that could have gone either way at the end of the day. But yeah, Greenville, best of luck in their region, and can't wait to see them play Westside and just teams like Lancaster. And if it gets to the point, I think North Augusta is a lower state, but if they get to the championship and North Augusta does that game as well. So best of luck to Greenville and represent. They are the county's name. So I just had to talk about that, and best of luck to them.